Well, hello again. Today I'm going to be going over my Frankenstein track build on this 2004 E46. We'll be going over things such as suspension, brakes, exhaust, engine, weight reduction, a couple other things. But yeah, let's get into it here. So moving up to the front here, you can see I'm running Bilstein shocks with H&R lowering springs. I think they offer fantastic performance in the front end, super stiff, nothing to complain about. I've ran Coney's before, they're about the same. Yeah, but I prefer these Bilsteins. I got a M3 front sway bar. It was taken out of a convertible, if I'm not mistaken. It's a millimeter thicker than the non-convertible one, and I have undersized bushings. So these are 24 millimeter. I think the bar is 27, 28, something like that. No, the bushings don't rip. They hug the bar very nicely and keep it super stiff. I have, I'm running Melee HD control arms. This one in particular is not a Melee because the ball joint went on that one, and this is just kind of a quick temporary replacement. And here, let's see if you guys can see, this is a nice triangle cross member that goes underneath as well to help stiffen up the chassis. I've ran the aluminum plate one too. It offers a little bit more protection for going over speed bumps, but I think this one offers a little bit more chassis stiffening in terms of performance. So brakes, I did a 325 to 330 conversion, so slightly larger rotors and calipers. Rotors, I like blank in the front because they offer a little bit more contact from rotor to pad. Pads, I'm just running ceramics at the moment. I've done semi-metallics, but they have a tendency to chew up rotors, and I don't want to keep replacing rotors every track day. So moving to the rear here. I'm running slotted rotors at the moment, but they're going to be replaced with blanks. Doesn't really matter that much in the rear. H&R lowering springs as well. And yeah, this has obviously been converted also to 330s. The shock absorber is actually out of a M3. It offers a little bit longer travel compared to your stock 325, 330, or even Bilsteins, which is nice. Gives a little bit more contact for the wheels. And surprise, I don't run a rear sway bar. I actually like having this thing super stiff in the front and loose in the rear to help reduce understeer. So I'd rather power out of a oversteer situation than a dangerous understeer any day of the week. So we have a catback exhaust. I don't know the brand name, don't really care. As you can see, it goes all the way to the back here. I don't know how much you can actually see here. Sure, ta-da. And I actually removed one of the brackets that holds the exhaust to the chassis. There's two of them. You only really need one. A little bit of weight reduction for you there. The differential at the moment is just the stock 3.15 that came with the 325s. I'm using it because it's pretty good for highway fuel economy. It's also fun just going 60 kilometers, 100 kilometers, 150 in third gear. But whenever I actually go tracking, this thing has a 3.38 from a 330. I also have a 3.46. I've never tried that one out yet, but I like the gearing in the 3.38 compared to 3.15. Okay, so moving up to the front here, we have a strut tower brace. Definitely helps stiffen up the chassis a little bit more. As far as engine stuff goes, okay, so this is a M54 B30 that was ripped out of a 330, and I rebuilt it while I was out, so new pistons, gaskets, bearing seals, all that fun stuff. Engine-wise here, I'm running, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but these are the circle ignition coils that were from the original 2004 2.5 liter. You got to keep the valve cover same to go with these coils. It's got Vanos. so nothing special there. Intake, just a cheap online filter. And this tube I pulled out of a M3 that goes from the airbox to the brake ducting. It fits, it fits. So as far as ducting goes, just the stock ducting, help bring a little bit of airflow into the engine bay here. And I did modify this, so this is an M-Tech 2 front bumper with a duct that I created here to allow a little bit more airflow into the engine bay. In the back you can see here, this is just a brake duct removed from my 530, repurposed to channel air into the top of the engine. Basically just underneath the intake here. Don't know how much of that you can actually see, but it does what it needs to. I don't experience any brake fade ever since removing these inner wheel wells. I would say it definitely makes a difference. What else here? So since this is a 2004, it originally came with MS45. I did an MS45 to MS43 conversion, but I will have to go over that in another video. Tuning wise, increase the rev limiter, increase fuel values, launch control, throttle sensitivity, so it's in pretty much permanent sports mode. Yeah, there's lots of fun tuning stuff you can do with these MS43s. Oh yeah, the smog pump, or secondary air pump, has been deleted. A little bit of weight reduction and a bit more space. You really don't need it. What else? So in the upcoming future, I'm going to be throwing in a M50 manifold. I want to throw in some M52 exhaust manifolds as well, because they don't have cats and they should flow a little bit better. I'm running the electric fan that came with the 325 originally, and removed the clutch fan that was on the 330 donor engine. Might as well remove it. I don't know how much horsepower it actually robs from the engine in terms of rotating load, but I like the electric one. Oh yeah, so I have some pulleys here. This is the power steering pulley from your regular E46. This one's from a M3 E46. You can see the size difference. It should fit. Maybe I have to put a spacer in the back or something, but I figure this is going to be a cheap underdrive pulley upgrade to slow the power steering pump a little bit and reduce load on the engine. So, okay, let's move up here. So, you can see I'm running a full interior at the moment, but when I go tracking, I remove the rear seats and passenger seat. Unless I got friends coming along, of course. And got no glove box, weight reduction, short shifter. And so the steering rack is 3 rotations compared to 3.5 that some of these E46s come with. I'm sure I'm missing a lot of other stuff, but whatever. Let's just turn it on. One thing I forgot to mention, this thing actually, I do not run O2 sensors. You guys might find that surprising, but it runs quite nicely just on the tune that I set up in here. So yeah, everything here is disconnected. Don't use them, don't need them. What else can I think of here? I think that pretty much covers the gist of this build here, but if you got any questions, write a comment, I'll answer.